Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver, Vancouver's best auto service experience, 18-time winners of best auto repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. How you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing very well this morning.
So we're going to talk about a Duramax diesel, a 2002 Chevy K2500. What was going on with this truck?
Well, this vehicle came to us, it was running rough, and there were some issues that we eventually determined with the fuel injectors. But basically, the engine was shaky, it was making noises, and a bit of excess of smoke.
So what are some symptoms of bad fuel injectors?
Well, bad fuel injectors will do a number of things. They'll cause an all-out misfire, which, so the engine will be, very shaky and very rough. On a more subtle level, it can just cause some subtle knocking noises in the engine, loud to subtle knocking noises in the engine. It also causes smoking, so either startup or while it's running, or under different throttle loads, there'll be a variety of, there can be different sort of smoking conditions, either white or black, depending on what's happening with the injectors. Also, starting problems too. The engine just takes a long time to start. So those are some of the symptoms of bad fuel injectors.
So what can cause injectors to go bad, and what caused these ones to go bad?
Well, so this is an interesting story, and I'm just going to add a little backstory for this truck. So this vehicle, our client purchased it I believe about 6 months ago. He found this used truck. We did an inspection, looked great, and from what I remember, it seemed to run pretty well. So he bought it. He's a handy person. He took on repairing a number of the things that we found wrong with it, but he also decided, I'm going to change my fuel injectors because, it's not quite running perfectly, or there was a bit of smoke. So he did it himself, which is an incredibly bold thing to do, because even in our shop with all our tools and equipment, I mean, it's a couple of days worth of work to change them. It's a lot of work. It's a big job, a lot to be dismantled to do it, and a lot to be put back together. But he did it, did a great job, put it back together, started it up, and it started running. Ran fine for a bit, and then he said after a while it just started running like really rough, and there was this pretty bad knocking noise in the engine. So, so what caused these injectors to go bad? I mean, the end story I'm going to tell you is that the injectors themselves were not good quality, but that's basically what happened. The job he did was good. We had to do some diagnosis to figure out what exactly was happening. So this job came in 2 rounds. And the first round, we basically determined number 8 injector was bad. We had another one sent over from the place he bought it, and we put it in, and it ran much better, but still not perfect. So after a little more work, we determined that the injectors were all likely bad, had them sent out for testing, and sure enough, all 8 injectors had a similar problem in the certain range of fuel delivery. All of them were defective.
Wow. So is this a common issue with fuel injectors for diesels?
Well, my whole point of doing this hangout is that you got to watch where you buy your injectors from. I think this is really the lesson, that just because someone sells a rebuilt fuel injector doesn't mean it's rebuilt to the right standards. And clearly, in the case of this engine, this person, he'd ordered them off the internet and from a somewhat reputable company, but obviously they weren't good. And we have a supplier that we deal with. Everything we buy from them is always good, because the injectors they sell are mostly rebuilt. At least these ones are rebuilt by Bosch, big company. They're the people who manufacture it in the first place. Their building standards are as high as you can go. But they tell me, and this makes sense, a lot of companies, they buy them, they clean the injectors, they make sure they function, at least seemingly function, and they're cleaned and sold off, but they're not really rebuilt in a proper way.
So okay, a bit of fun there. 2 sets of injectors later, how does the truck run?
Really good, really well. I mean, smooth, starts up instantaneously, runs smooth right from the moment it starts. No smoke, it's perfect. So the thing with diesels, as long as you have good compression in the engine, usually the injectors just make all the difference. They're just so critical to, they control everything. Like in a gasoline engine, you have a spark timing, but in fuel delivery, whereas a diesel, it's all done with the injector. So having that working properly is critical. I'll just share a photo here of the truck, well, I should say of a truck, because I couldn't quite get all my photos together this morning, but we'll have a look at this is a 2002 Silverado, you know, similar to the truck we worked on. Great vehicle, super reliable. I mean, there's nothing much, you know, nothing bad I can say about these trucks. Really good overall.
So what's the difference between the injectors that he purchased and what you supplied?
As I was mentioning, I mean, the injectors we supplied they're Bosch remanufactured, and you know, the highest standards of quality. So that the difference, again, the key. I know we do these videos mostly for people who are just interested in having their car repaired, but you know, there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers who watch this. So my word to you is buy injectors from a reputable supplier. Buy, you know, as close, maybe not right from the dealer because they're way more money, but someone who's a very reputable diesel rebuilder or supplier of diesel parts.
And I guess how are Duramax diesels?
Yeah, Duramax, yeah, they're awesome. I mean, of all the big three manufacturers, these are definitely our favorites in our shop because a lot less goes wrong with them than the others. I mean, even though the Cummins are really reliable, there's still a few problems with them. The Fords, of course, are legendary. I mean, the 7.3 is pretty good, but I mean, these Duramaxes, they're amazing. Like, they really don't have that many problems. I mean, the odd injector goes bad, but there's very few problems with these engines. They're really good. So again, this would be my choice of a diesel to buy.
So there you go. If you're looking for service for your Duramax diesel in Vancouver, the guys to see Pawlik Automotive, you can reach them at 604-327-7112 to book your appointment. You got to book ahead, they're busy, or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com, or our web channel on YouTube at search for Pawlik Auto Repair, or our new Car Truth Show web channel, YouTube channel. Lots of good stuff on there. Thanks, Bernie.
Thank you, Mark.